Tonight on That's Dark. We're uncovering the chilling secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, a cursed stretch of Utah, land plagued by the UFOs, cattle mutilations, and shadowy creatures. Is it a gateway to another world or something far darker? Follow us.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
It's Alyssa.
And Heather.
And it has been 3 weeks.
A lot of holiday stuff.
Yeah, it feels like the never-ending holidays for whatever reason. Doesn't it? I think it's because it was in the middle of the week.
It did feel
I
very...
hated it. I hated it. So I had like work one day, a holiday, and then work the next day.
But then like you... I mean, maybe for you work, but it's like, I don't have clients in office.
Right. So you're just kind of like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. I was like, oh, well.
It was very dead. Because like, all the other clients have off, so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Exactly. Same. It was just like...
Yeah. Like, at least we get to work from home, so that is a perk. Like, I feel bad for the people who had to go in.
Oh my God. But I think like sometimes, like I'm not saying I would want to be in an office because I don't.
Never.
Let me just put that there. But I think sometimes like the shenanigans that can go on during that time is a fun time when you're with people in office, you know. But again,
I will say it was not. It was not.
It was awful.
I will say it was boring because almost everybody's not there because everybody uses their PTO. So you're just like,
what am I doing here? Yeah.
Oh! Since we haven't gotten to talk since I saw Wicked, I saw it twice. I am Alphaba to a fucking T. I see so much Glinda in you. Like, as I was watching, I was like, yeah. Yep.
So Glinda.
Yep. Every time I was like, oh, that's her.
Yeah. I love Alphaba.
Oh my God.
Like, I love her
both.
heart. I do too, but I'm saying I love Alphaba. I am not Alphaba.
Yeah.
I am so Glinda.
You are very much Glinda.
You know? And...
Dude, oh my God, I don't think I've ever cried so much in a movie in all of my fucking life. Like, everything that happened, I was just crying. I was crying at her childhood. I was crying at oh my God, with the animals, anything with the animals just was horrific. I probably should have said, not trigger warning, what is it? What's it called?
No.
Not a trigger. Oh my God, fuck, what's that called?
Spoiler. Yeah, that's it. I was like, wait.
So sorry. You got a little bit of a spoiler.
I was thinking tractor.
Tractor alert.
Tractor alert.
Oh my good God above. It was just so good. There was something else too recently. What was it? I can't remember. I don't know. But it was just like incredible. But the part with the animals and when she her and Fiyero take the cub out. Do you hear the whole lore behind who the cub is? It's a cowardly lion.
Yeah, no, don't you? Wait a second, lore.
I didn't know.
Not lore.
I did not know the depths of everything.
Hold on, let me tell you. This isn't lore.
It's literal. I know. It's like the literal thing.
Yeah,
and then
he is the cowardly...
Fiyero's a scarecrow.
Yes, because Alphaba... Okay,
yes.
Spoiler, but if you know Wicked, you know both parts.
Right.
Alphaba turns him into that to protect him.
Right.
And then Bach...
I know, he's the Tin Man.
God, he's the Tin Man. He's so stupid. And Nessa, like, I
literally
don't like
Nessa.
Want to push her down the stairs.
I've never liked Nessa from
I don't either.
The beginning.
Nope, from the get with her little
yeah.
I was like, shut up. I was like, I would push her down the stairs.
I couldn't stand her, but oh my God, the fucking song, all of Alpha, like all the songs in general, they're all just so insanely talented. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, the talent.
Good God.
The talent. It brings me to tears every time.
Yes. But the song where I'm Not the Girl, I have never, I felt it in my soul. I'm like, girl, I get that. I get it.
Do you know what song I felt in my soul?
Define gravity.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, yeah.
In fact, like Liz was saying, like she was making a post. She's like, that's not my wife being angry at traffic. That's her singing Define Gravity. Because I'll be like, the whispers. Like I sing it so hard because I feel it.
Yes.
In every part of me.
Me too. Dude,
every part.
I I just can't listen. Even if I just listen to the song, I can't not cry.
No, I cry. I feel it. I sing it with just as much like when she's like, no one.
Yes.
In
oh
all
my
of
God.
us. I was just
or
like,
any wizard that is or was.
Oh,
Yes.
so good.
Oh God.
I'm just
chilled.
like, yes. That's how I feel. I literally sing it in the car.
I will say, I kind of want to grab Glenda's face though sometimes and be like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I know I get what she's trying to say, is that, like, you have to go along with it sometimes to get what you want.
With Glenda?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know. But I also think that people are underestimating. Like, I do think Glenda has some very real... Too. I'm a woman. I have emotions. I think I'm in love with this guy. And we all know Fiyero and Elphaba are meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think Glenda has some very real emotions there. But I also think people underestimate her.
Yeah.
I think she's also really good at playing a role.
She is.
Because I think she means it when she sings the unlimited part. Because I think she's saying and she does. In part 2, we find out she takes Maribel and the wizard down. Yep. She's the one who takes them down.
Yep.
And I just think the whole thing is just so very interesting.
No, I think that's very true.
I could watch it.
But I could so be that way. When I can't remember exactly the wording, but when Elphaba was saying to her how she basically can't believe, to get what she wants. I'm like, oh, that's me. I get too passionate. I think we need the Glendas though. We need that.
We do.
I get too angry.
Yeah.
I get too no, this isn't right.
I know. I think that's why you're very Elphaba, you know, but I sometimes know how to play
you know how to play you can
what
play
I need
game.
to do to get myself to where it needs to be.
Right.
Instead of just being I have the side of me that's a rager. Yeah. Where I'm I'm gonna rage, but
But you can get shit done.
I could literally talk about Wicked.
Dude, it
touches
I
every
think
part
it is
of my
probably
soul.
one of my top favorite movies of all time.
Mine. Yeah. Absolutely. And that has not happened in a long time where I'm just it moved up to the top.
I mean, you know me with
everything.
Yeah, dude. And I'm not a musical person.
No, I am though.
But
for me to say that,
oh my God. I didn't know anything about Wicked when I watched it. I knew none of it, and now I know everything. I know all of the Wicked. I watched Wizard of Oz after, just to, refresh everything. Dude, that shit's good for being, I think it's 1939. It's a good movie. It can hold your attention still. That's crazy. Yeah,
it's funny, though, because there's, 2 parts that get stuck in my head. I wish it was Defying Gravity, and sometimes it's Popular, and that's great.
Are you going to say the dance scene? Do the dance scene?
Yes.
I fucking bawled.
Yes. Oh my God. Did you know? You want a little insight on that? That they're writing messages with their arms that only they know.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The producer, he was what people don't know is that Ariana and Cynthia are writing messages that only they know.
The cutest thing.
I know. That is just amazing to me. And everyone's laughing about how much they cry in interviews. I was I cry and I'm not even in the interviews. I cry when I see anything ever. And it's I think they just truly, the two of them found such a connection to each other beyond anything that's worldly.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
And so I love the two of them.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
The dance, I bawled.
Dude.
But no, the fucking part that I always get stuck in my head is where the part where she's Nessa. She's I know why you did. It's because I'm in this chair. And then he's no, it's because, and he's
you're beautiful.
Because you are so beautiful. I can't. Oh, Bach, I think you're wonderful. And it pisses me off.
I hate it.
Because I fucking hate them. And I'm why does that get stuck in my head?
Dude, you know what cracks me the fuck up every time, though, is when Ariana's, talking to Bach and, but then when she's, saying how, she's, trying to get him to ask Nessa out, and she's see that tragically beautiful girl in the chair? And I'm the girl in the chair is just stop it. Girl. The one in the chair. I die every time. I'm oh God. But no, dude, it's, oh my God, it's just so good. I can't wait for the second one.
And Jonathan Bailey's my man.
He's awesome.
He's my man.
I love when they're at the train station, she's he's been thinking.
I know. He's been thinking.
And then he comes up, he's like, I've been thinking. She's like, I've heard.
Like, I've heard. Yeah. Also, did you know, I'm sure you already heard, that I love this too, his horse in Wicked is the one he bonded to when he did Bridgerton. And so he brought the horse to this one because they had such a bond.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's his same horse.
That's so cute. I have one more Wicked fun fact.
We're all We're like, let's do fun
Yeah,
facts.
we just talk about Wicked the whole pod. Yeah. So the scene where she's about to jump out the window and they're looking at each other and she like winks at Ariana was not scripted.
Nope.
She just did that and I was like, that is, oh my God. They're just amazing.
The fact they sang live on set. And it brought people to tears that hear them all the time, y'all.
Yep.
This movie's epic.
And the book scene where he's dancing through life. The book part, he did that. Like the dance where he was doing all the shit like on the books and everything.
Yep.
I'm like,
he did, and then Cynthia did all her own stunts. Yes. Ariana did most all her own stunts. They sang live. Cynthia sang live while doing stunts.
Yes, dude.
Like, come on. This woman has so much fucking talent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, ah.
And the voice... The pitch that Ariana can hit, dude.
She's talented.
She's like a fucking opera singer.
She is an opera singer.
Like,
she's fucking amazing.
It's like, holy shit.
I saw the part, I was like, don't make me laugh. They were popular.
Right! I'm like, girl, I've been saying that, though. It's so true. Look back at history. None of them knew what the fuck they were doing.
I swear she's like, and then it's like popular. She's like, right!
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay. It's my favorite thing to talk about ever.
Yes.
Anyways, just quick news. Me and Alyssa are both on the healthy bandwagon in our life, and not just because we've been doing it for a year pretty much now, but we've jumped into some other things. We'll talk about that another time. Mentally healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Growth.
That's it. Growth.
Yeah.
Because you can always grow. I just want to put that out there. No matter what age you are, you can always grow.
Yep.
You don't just have to stay.
You never stop.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to do it again today because I knew what I wanted to do. And I know Alyssa she's got to figure things out. Yes. But I was like thinking I was going to do something about Santa and I was like, I don't want to. Christmas is...
Dude, did Christmas just not feel it this year?
Well, I think it did for me because I went back to my mom's house and I did all that.
Well, that's true. But I think it's really just the timing. It being in the middle of the week was bizarre. Not fun, but like...
But I did take time off to go there, you know, so it really did. And it was snowy.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would
so
feel
it
like
did
Christmas.
feel really Christmassy to me, at least.
Well, that's good.
But I've seen so many, and our topic today, the Skinwalker Ranch, I have seen so many documentaries on it.
Yes.
I have watched the show on Netflix. I have watched so many different things that have they don't vary in their recounting of it.
It's all pretty similar.
Now, I want to do it because I lived in Utah and I lived 2 hours from Skinwalker Ranch and I did not know that.
That's
when I tell you bizarre things happened in that sky, bizarre things happened. To the point where even Liz woke me up one time and said, are stars supposed to be doing that? Yes, stars I know move, but these bounced. They would bounce all the time and move around and then they would be gone. But happened all the time. And it was just a lot of weird, bizarre things about Utah. I always talk about the strangest in Utah, but this is one of them. So let's talk about the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. And if anyone is like a big UFO buff, they know about Skinwalker Ranch because UFOs are a big part of it. So let's talk about the early history of the Skinwalker Ranch. And if I pronounce anything wrong, guys, I pretty much know most of this, but if I do pronounce anything wrong, please forgive me. So before it became known for UFOs and paranormal investigations, this land had a much older and darker story tied to it. Tied to indigenous cultures and their folklore. It all begins with the Ute and Navajo peoples who lived in and around the Uintah Basin for centuries. For the Ute people, this land was sacred, but it was also a place of danger, a place they avoided, especially after dark. And I'm talking about the place where this ranch is at.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, the basin.
Okay.
Okay? The name Skinwalker comes from a Navajo tradition, and I wanted to put that in there. In their folklore, a Skinwalker, or Yinaldushi, again, probably butchered the shit out of that, is a witch who can transform into animals. These aren't misunderstood healers or like shamans. Skinwalkers are feared, known for using their powers to harm others through curses or direct attacks. Okay. I've never thought Skinwalkers were good. Right. I just want to put that out there. Like, no. I read that and I was like, no, it makes sense.
That makes sense.
Makes complete sense. So in the mid-1800s, a conflict between the Navajo and the Utes added another layer to this history. During this time, the U.S. government forcibly relocated the Navajo people in what became known as the Long Walk in an agonizing march to interment camps. Of course we did. The Utes reportedly allied with the U.S. military, helping to capture all the Navajo people. But of course, the U.S. did that. Go fucking U.S., you stupid asses. Yep. Anyways, according to the Navajo and their tradition, this betrayal didn't go unanswered. The Navajo are said to have cursed the Ute lands in retaliation. And the area we now call Skinwalker Ranch was part of that curse. This curse is said to have unleashed skinwalkers or opened the land to malevolent forces. For the Utes, this belief solidified the ranch's reputation as a spiritually dangerous place. They've avoided the area for generations, convinced it's haunted by something dark and powerful. They really did.
Yeah.
And they also had it in their cave, like their rock.
The drawings.
Yeah, their drawings. Okay. They would avoid this. This place was a no-go. And they actually have in their drawings of seeing UFOs.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There is literally in their, God, what is the name of that when they have their hieroglyphs are like Egyptian.
Yeah, but I can't remember what
is it called. Like, anyways, in their drawings or where they would depict their stories, basically how they would write out things. It depicts UFOs. It depicts how dangerous this land is. It even depicted mutilations of animals before settlers even came on.
It just says cave paintings.
Okay.
So
cave paintings. It depicted these things. Okay.
Yep.
Then came the settlers. By the late 19th century, Mormon pioneers began moving into the Uintah Basin, drawn by promises of fertile land for farming and ranching. But this was a harsh, isolated place to live, and unsettling stories started to emerge. Things like mysterious lights in the sky and strange, unexplainable sounds. And this wasn't just limited to the ranch. By the 1930s and 1940s, the entire Uintah Basin was becoming known for unexplained phenomena. UFO sightings were reported, and by the 1950s, the area was already considered a hotspot for really strange behavior.
Interesting.
And activity. What makes this even more fascinating is the belief that the land itself is cursed or marked in some way, some connected to sacred indigenous sites or burial grounds, while others point back to, again, that Navajo curse. But they found that it was cursed through those cave dwellings, and then, I'm sure they spoke with the Utes or, the Navajo people. By the time the Sherman family purchased the Skinwalker Ranch in 1994, these stories were already part of the local lore. So let's cover some of the strange things that were reported even before the Shermans, okay? Indigenous lore and supernatural occurrences. Like I said, the Ute people believed the area was cursed, haunted by malevolent beings, including skinwalkers. Stories passed down among the Utes describe strange shape-shifting creatures and an atmosphere of danger, especially at night. The Utes, again, avoided that area, including the ranch. There's bigger than that, though. So it's the whole town around this ranch. And then their main concern was they talked about the UFOs. Yeah. They talked about the skinwalkers, shapeshifters, and then strange beings coming up out of the ground. This will also be talked about later on when we say, but strange, like it opening up like a portal and it coming out of the ground.
Oh,
creatures.
My God.
And then also creatures going back into the ground.
Like the earth just
opening to something. And then the other thing that was reported with them is sounds of like rumbling. Underground or like movement, things happening underground.
I don't like that.
So, and then of course we talked about the UFO sightings. So before they had, in 1930s, they would have hovering orbs of lights, 2 cigar-shaped objects that moved erratically over the ranch area. So they had tons. This wasn't just by one person.
Yeah.
Everyone reported seeing these orbs of lights. And then, like I said, cigar-shaped objects.
Interesting.
In the 1940s, during the post-World War II UFO wave in the United States, the Yucatan Basin became one of the hotspots for the sightings. Witnesses describing metallic craft, unexplained aerial phenomena, and objects that would disappear or accelerate at an impossible speed.
Hate that.
Then there were strange animal sightings. In the 1930s and 1940s, ranchers and hunters in the area occasionally told stories of encountering... 1930s too, when the Shermans take. It's not just those time, but they described an area occasionally told stories of encountering animals that didn't behave or look like anything they've ever recognized before. These included unnaturally large wolves, creatures with glowing red eyes, or animals that seemed impervious to bullets.
What?
Yeah, they would shoot them, but they would
Nothing
not
would
die.
happen.
No. Some accounts describe livestock behaving oddly or disappearing under mysterious circumstances, though these stories are all very scattered. They found livestock mutilated quite often, and that's going to go back into here. Then we have ghost lights, an orb phenomenon. Long before the term Skinwalker Ranch became popular, residents in the Utah Basin reported sightings of what they called ghost lights, or glowing orbs. These lights were described as hovering near the ground or darting through the sky. So it would go ground up or darting all over the sky. There's actually videos of this.
Oh.
Yes. These phenomena were often associated with certain locations in the basin, including the vicinity of the ranch, and were sometimes accompanied by sounds, a sense of dread or an unease. Well, I mean, yeah, like if I saw something like I didn't understand, I would be like, that's scary. And then we have electromagnetic disturbances. Reports of strange electromagnetic anomalies predate the Shermans' time of the ranch. Some locals claim their radios or electronic equipment would malfunction in certain areas of the basin with no obvious explanation. There is also rumors of strange compasses spinning wildly, as if the land itself had some kind of magnetic irregularity. And then let's get into the cattle mutilations.
Oh.
So the Utah Basin, the other paranormal hotspots in the United States, saw a wave of cattle mutilation. So it wasn't just in there, but this is during the 1970s and 80s. Ranchers in the area found livestock that had been killed and mutilated with surgical precision. What? Organs removed, blood drained, and no signs of predators or struggle.
That's bizarre.
While no, sorry. That's wrong. Okay, sorry. While no specific accounts from the Skinwalker Ranch during that time were documented during that period, the rancher's later reputation suggests that they experienced similar instances. Mm-hmm. And I do know of one, which hopefully I put it in there, but they found cows basically seemingly inside out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So just a little bit about what they were doing. So
I just had a funny vision of someone if they built on the land and then one day you're getting up to get something in the middle of the night and then your floor just opens up and
the thing comes out.
And then you're just
I think for us here in Florida, we'd be like, oh my God, it's what's it called when they have... Why can I not? I never can think when I'm talking.
What is it? Like a natural disaster?
Yeah, where
an
the
earthquake?
ground opens up and you go down. No.
A sinkhole.
A sinkhole. We'd be like, because they had that. A sinkhole. So then let's talk about the Shermans, because this is really where a lot of documentation happened, right? So, sorry. 1994 to 1996. Is kind of where a lot of things got packed in. Okay. But as you can hear, as I'm talking about beforehand, they had a lot of stuff going along in that area. A lot of the similar stuff. The Shermans come in, purchase the 400 acre ranch, including intended to establish a thriving cattle operation.
Okay.
Located in the remote Utah Basin, we already know that, the property seemed ideal for their ambitions. However, from the moment they moved in, the family was met with a foreboding atmosphere and peculiar things started happening. I lost my place. Okay. For instance, the house was heavily fortified. All windows and doors had multiple deadbolts. And even the interior cabinets had locks. Heavy chains and iron stakes were embedded in the ground around the home, seemingly meant to tether enormous animals. What? These unsettling features hinted at something unusual, but the Shermans weren't prepared for what came next. Is that not so
That's creepy.
Weird?
So these stakes were in the ground thought to hold animals?
Yeah. So
did they not think it has, this is just, a thought. Did they think it had anything to do with, warding off vampires? Because isn't that another thing that they do, too? Or is that not a vampire thing?
Maybe.
No, that's a wooden stake.
A wooden stake,
never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact that all the doors had multiple, locks, and then there was chains on... the interior cabinets had locks, and then there was heavy chains and iron stakes were embedded in the ground. Yeah, that's just bizarre.
Okay, so the stakes had chains on them. So
yes.
Clearly it was holding something.
Something.
What the fuck?
That alone would creep me out. I don't even know even if I didn't know anything about the land.
I'd be like, I don't want this.
On the first evening, the family encountered a creature unlike anything they had ever seen. A massive wolf larger than any wolf species native to the area calmly approached them. Its demeanor was strange as it allowed the family to pet it briefly. But the situation quickly turned hostile when the wolf lunged at a calf in the livestock pen, biting its head and attempting to drag it through the bars. Terry grabbed his handgun and fired at point-blank range. The wolf didn't flinch. Wow. He continued shooting, escalating to a hunting rifle. Even after several shots, the animal remained unfazed. Finally, after more gunfire, it backed away and trotted off, leaving no visible injuries, no blood trail, and no tracks. The event left the family deeply disturbed.
Why would that be me, though? Petting the wolf?
I would, too.
I would.
I'm like, yay.
You're like, oh, yay.
The encounter set the stage for what became almost daily sightings of strange phenomena. The Shermans, and by the way, they got this acre for really cheap. I just want to put that out there.
Wonder why.
The Shermans observed numerous UFOs, ranging from silent, fast-moving orbs to massive triangular craft.
Oh, I thought they were going to say triangular orbs. I'm like, I haven't heard that one.
Craft that's in the sky. One of the most frequently reported types was a glowing blue sphere that floated near the ground and occasionally hovered around animals. These orbs appeared to be intelligent, deliberately maneuvering to evade capture or approach the family in an almost playful but menacing way. So I don't know Gwen Sherman described one particular instance with a blue orb seeming to follow her car as she drove, matching her every move before suddenly darting away. The family's prized cattle began to suffer bizarre fates. Over the course of 2 years, 14 of their cattle either vanished without a trace or were found dead under unexplainable circumstances. The mutilated cattle were perhaps the most terrifying aspect. In multiple cases, the animals were found with surgical precision cuts, their organs removed, and their bodies completely drained of blood. For instance, Terry once found a cow with its rectum cord out and other internal organs excised cleanly, meaning cut out, as if by medical instrument. There were no signs of predators, struggle, or blood splatter. Even more chillingly, no tracks were found around the bodies, even in the soft, muddy ground.
Oh my God.
In one incident, a calf that had been perfectly healthy moments earlier was found eviscerated. Its body had been left in such a pristine condition, no signs of predatory attack or natural death, and that it confounded veterinarians and investigators. Some cattle simply vanished without a trace. These disappearances often followed sightings of strange lights or blue orbs near the pasture. The Shermans also noticed that the orbs seemed to agitate the livestock. Terry once described the animals panicking and running from an unseen presence, their fear palpable. The ranch was also exhibited a wide range of poltergeist activity. Items in the home would disappear and reappear in odd places. Sometimes weeks later, tools left in one location would be found miles away on the property. One particularly unnerving event involved the disappearance of Terry's heavy-duty post digger, which was later discovered high in a tree. Shadowy figures were frequently seen moving around the property or peering through the windows, and disembodied voices in an unfamiliar language were often heard at night.
So they just had it all. They had aliens, they had poltergeists, they had creatures.
Doesn't that make you wonder, the poltergeist, like, is that why their cabinets were closed and locked?
Oh, that's probably why they had bolts on them.
Yeah, and that's why their doors are all bolted up, because this was happening to the previous people, and they did not disclose any of this, and they bought this ranch. Yeah. So Terry and Gwen also reported experience what they described as psychological warfare. They often felt an overwhelming sense of dread or paranoia as if they're being watched by an unseen intelligence. On one occasion, Terry saw what he called a portal open in the air above the ranch. Through the glowing window, he claimed he could see another world, a blue sky with structures that resembled nothing on Earth. Shortly afterward, strange creatures and lights appeared in the vicinity. Further fueling the family's belief that the ranch was a hotspot for interdimensional activity. So he saw a portal. And now the Shermans were very, very normal people that literally, I looked up about them. They were just normal people that wanted to have a cattle ranch.
Yeah, they just wanted a farm.
And he said it literally opened up and he saw another world.
The interdimensional made me think, like, what the fuck if Alex Jones is right all along? About the interdimensional elves? Oh, man. I'm just kidding, but the interdimensional for me is like, that's crazy. So you just see, like, this portal open up and then this other world pretty much, like, just above you.
Yeah, and then he saw, like, craft come out of it. And this is the craft they've been seeing. But he saw it happen where it opened up and the craft came out of it.
Dude, that kind of makes sense, though. Where, you know how we are looking at things from, like, our ability to do things, like, within space. And we're like, it's impossible because we don't have this technology. But, like, if they can just open up a portal, like, they can just basically, what is it called? Not teleport, but in a way, kind of like teleport.
It is, yeah.
It's like, boop.
It is. It's like interdimensional travel.
I swear to God, if our government knows this shit, well, I'm going to be pissed.
Hold on. Just wait. The Shermans also encountered other mysterious creatures besides the giant wolf. Terry once spotted a large, muscular animal just perched in a tree, its eyes glowing bright red in the darkness. He shot at it, and though the bullet struck, the creature seemed to vanish into thin air. The next day, deep claw marks were found on the tree trunk. Other nights, the family reported hearing guttural growls and heavy footfalls from unseen predators nearby. On several occasions, Terry described invisible forces stalking the family, creating disturbances such as moving brush or heavy breathing sounds without a visible source. Despite the incredible number of strange occurrences, one of the most perplexing aspects was how quickly the phenomenon escalated. What began as a sporadic encounter soon became daily and became hourly, then sometimes hourly. The Shermans tried to explain the occurrences logically, but eventually admitted defeat. Terry described the ranch as a place where the laws of physics just don't apply. The family began to fear for their lives, and by 1996, 2 years, that's it, they decided to sell the ranch.
Damn.
Taking financial losses because of the dead and vanishing cattle, combined with the constant stress, made it impossible to stay. They had to leave, and they didn't want to be there anymore. The Shermans' accounts were shared publicly after they sold the ranch to a billionaire. Robert Bigelow, who sought to investigate the paranormal activity. Their stories remain some of the most vivid and unsettling. So after the Sherman family sold Skinwalker Ranch in 1996, the property entered a new chapter. Under the ownership, like I said, of billionaire real estate magnate and aerospace entrepreneur Robert Bigelow. Bigelow purchased the ranch for just $200,000.
What?
480 acres.
What?
Yeah, and turned it into the centerpiece of a scientific investigation into the paranormal and unexplained phenomena that had plagued the Sherman family. This marked the beginning of a more formalized effort to understand what is happening on this property, bringing it to the forefront of public and scientific interests. Bigelow, deeply fascinated by the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the paranormal, founded the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDS, in 1995. The institute was tasked with researching fringe phenomena, including UFOs, cattle mutilations, and other unexplained events. Skinwalker Ranch became its primary research site. Bigelow fortified the property with heavy security, installing fences, cameras, and guards to monitor every corner of the ranch. NID scientists and researchers moved onto the property, conducting extensive studies. They documented a wide range of bizarre activity, many of which echoed the Sherman's experiences. These included sightings of UFOs, glowing orbs, strange creatures, and portals to what appeared to be other dimensions. Researchers also noted electromagnetic disturbances, bizarre animal behavior, and unexplained malfunctions in equipment. Despite using sophisticated monitoring tools, many of these events defied explanation and often seemed to evade capture by cameras because they would die. One notable event involved a bright glowing orb witnessed by multiple researchers. And again, these are scientific researchers. These are not paranormal.
Right.
I know that he is interested in the paranormal, but he hired scientific researchers.
So people who are typically against paranormal.
Yes. The orb reportedly appeared to be an open portal in the sky, though through which strange humanoid figures were observed. The portal then closed, leaving the researchers shaken. Another incident included a scientist who reported seeing a massive wolf-like creature stalking the property. When approached, the animal vanished in thin air, leaving no tracks. The research was frequently frustrating, as whatever intelligent was behind the phenomenon seemed to deliberately toy with the investigators. Equipment would malfunction at critical moments, cameras would fail to capture significant events, and the phenomenon often seemed to occur just outside the range of their instruments. This led some researchers to theorize that whatever was causing the activity was aware of their presence and actively working to avoid detection.
Oh my God.
By 2004, NIDS was dissolved and Bigelow shifted his focus to other projects, including his aerospace company, Bigelow Aerospace. Despite this, interest in the ranch continued to grow, fueled by books, documentaries, and growing public fascination. So then he sells it to Brandon Fugel, in 2016. Mm-hmm. So 2004 to 2016, no one was there.
Wow.
At all.
Wait, it was just vacant?
It was just vacant. Yeah. And then, by the way, during, people try to go see this ranch, their cars die. Oh, they have to walk on, most cars will die when you're going in there. And you have to walk on foot to get up in there.
That's crazy.
Which just leaves me really vulnerable, and I just don't know how I feel about that. I would like my car not to just
to have the safety of it.
To be able to get away quickly,
yes.
And lots of people, not just these people, have said they see portals. I just want to say, they see these things. This isn't just...
Dude, I have to go there. Oh my God. We should just, if we go, just as we're driving, be like, please tell me when you want me to stop driving. Do not shut my car off.
Just don't shut it off.
Just tell me. Give me a sign.
You could even put a big back woof, and I'll stop.
Yep.
I'll go pet you.
Yep.
I'm cool.
Yep.
I
just don't want my car to stop working.
I don't think the two are interlocked, and I'm going to tell you. Tell you my beliefs in it. But in 2016, Bigelow sold the ranch to Brandon Fugel, a Utah real estate tycoon, for $4.5 million.
Whoa.
Under Fugel's ownership, the ranch was rebranded as a scientific research facility and became the subject to further investigations. Fugel's team brought in new technology and researchers to continue studying the phenomena there. The property became the focus of popular television series, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, which began airing in 2020. The show documents the ongoing investigation into the ranch's mysteries, including frequent UFO sightings, unexplained energy anomalies, and other worldly events. Under Fugel's management, a wide range of unexplained phenomenon has occurred. These include frequent spikes in radiation levels. That's the other thing. Mysterious illnesses among researchers, and sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena. Some experiments have also suggested that the ranch sits atop an area of unusual magnetic and gravitational anomalies.
What?
Leading to speculation that it may be a window to other dimensions or a hub of extraterrestrial activity. Despite decades of investigation, Skinwalker Ranch remains an enigma. Its blend of UFO sightings, cryptid encounters, poltergeist activity, and cattle mutilations has resisted any single explanation, leaving scientists, skeptics, and believers alike to speculate about the true nature of this infamous property. Also, right now, the government controls it.
Stop it.
Nope. They have it now.
So it sold again from 2020?
Oh, no.
Or
the government took it.
The scientific research people just overtook it?
Yeah. The government is involved with it.
Oh my God. I have to watch it. I've never seen the documentary.
You have to watch it.
I really need to.
One of the researchers talk about watching the ground's rumbling. They talk about constantly hearing what sounds like machines underneath the ground, moving and like machine. They're like, it sounds like a machine under the ground. Sometimes rumbling, sometimes like movement. And the researcher talks about he was out in the field, and there's like not mountains but like hills, and it the ground opens up, and a humanoid-like creature comes out of the ground and runs off. Just runs off, and then it closes. And they talk about these dimensions just opening up. And then people have talked about wanting to go see Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah. Their car always dies. So many people. Because you know how people go like, oh, I visited. Now it's like hard. You can't even get it because the government did that. You can't even go on there.
Right.
But so many people, you know how they'll be like, oh, I went and nothing happened. It's as I was reading, because I was like, I want to get some actual people that are not part of the Shermans. There's so many, Alyssa. There's so many. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. Not to mention around this place, they talk about the UFO sightings, the cattle issues. They all still have this. The big black wolf. So here's what I think.
The big black wolf. Oh
I know.
God. It's cute.
I know, but I think that there is all those things there.
Yeah.
I think that there is a curse on the land, but that is not the same thing of what's going on with the alien stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's two different
separate things.
I think that this has always been there because the Navajo and the Utes described it.
Yes.
Right? But then they put a curse on that land because of everything, and here comes the Skinwalkers.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think that, and there's a poltergeist because they talk about talking in different languages. So I think because it is such a hotbed, because there's obviously interdimensional weirdness going on here, it creates a energetic field where it can be haunted. So, because you know how hauntings, spirits, they have to have energy.
Yeah.
They have to be able to interact with your phone. Right. They have to be able to, they really utilize that a lot. Yeah. I think that this curse, I think it is cursed.
Right.
But I think that they utilize that this is
the
something.
Magnetic energy there.
Yeah. So I think it's everything.
Crazy. Could you imagine, it's just these aliens just doing their thing, and they're like, oh God, these fucking people, I just want to get in and not be seen. They're like, I just want to go do my thing.
But I think it's funny that they played with the Shermans. I think that's interesting, you know, that they played with them.
Did not like them.
Well, yeah, like I think it's interesting though that they didn't make the Shermans sick.
That is,
but they made researchers sick. Like the researchers that's going on there.
Well,
like,
maybe with the research, it's more of a threat to them. It's not as much with the Shermans.
Yeah.
Like the Shermans are probably just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
But with the research, it could be a detriment to them. Like
exactly.
We don't know what the government's going to do, or you know what I mean.
Like you're gonna not only like it could if they've been there this long, they have this portal. It could be multiple different places. I don't know, but like. They know if they leave with their orbs, it's not like they just stay around there. They say they scoot off and come back. They know how we are. And like, they know our government. I'm sorry.
Oh, 100%.
Anyone who's visited here that is not from here, no. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, get the scientific research out, get that out. Like we're trying to do our thing, whatever that thing is, like whatever that's is.
Fascinating.
Like, you know.
So my question, do you think that they are here, like on this earth?
Yes.
Presently?
Yes.
Like in the government potentially?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think they have to.
They have to. Yes. They have to keep tabs. I think that there is, I don't think we know because everyone's like, I used to say it too, like, what would they want with Earth? Like, what would they want? But like,
there's a lot. There
could be a lot that they want. And they could be learning.
I think
they could be like, hey, like, I'm not doing that. Like, they could be learning as like, what have we done to destroy?
Yeah. I don't think that they're trying to do anything crazy.
No.
I think it's more so just research purposes. More than likely.
But also, why wouldn't they research us?
Yeah. We're trying to research them.
We're trying to research other planets that we can sustain life on.
Right. They just have the ability to actually do it.
Yes. Like, why would they not want to... Like, if we were able to develop interdimensional travel, the fuck we would be doing that? Yeah, we would.
Absolutely.
Like, we would be going to see, like, okay, is this maybe they want to know, is this a planet we can save? Is this a planet that we could potentially use one day?
Right.
Like, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Like, are they learning from us? Yes, they are. Like, okay, we're not going to do that. Like,
how cool would it be if we could, like, cohabitate with them?
That would be cool.
Have that technology.
See, that's our red flags, me and you, Alyssa. Like, I'm just going to talk about our red flags.
We're like, wait, come back.
Me and you are like wanting to be friends with everything. Like, we want to befriend spirits. We want to befriend wild animals. We want to befriend aliens.
But
like,
is it bad?
I feel like, hey, why not get along?
That's my thing.
That's how I am too.
It's like we can all learn from somebody.
I guess that's a red flag. I don't know. But that's how I am because I'm like, hey, like they obviously can do cooler shit than we can.
We can learn from them. They can learn from us.
Not what to do. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
But, like, they can travel. Like, I want to know them. I don't want to
I want to be able to interdimensionally travel.
Yeah, me too.
You know how easy that'd be?
I know.
Dude, they probably have the technology to be able to just go to France. Just, boom, you're in France. Or boom, you're in Thailand.
Yeah. They probably do. What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that Utah is the only place they can have. Like, what about... Are we thinking the same thing?
Probably not.
Okay. What about the suicide forest in Japan?
My God, yeah.
About how it's like, like the lava rock and everything is super magnetically charged. What if there's shit going on there? What were you thinking though?
The government does not want that because that completely eradicates the travel system.
Yep.
No money.
Nope. That. And I'm sorry. Something that just like tripped me out. And I've always thought about it before, but then I really thought about it. How do we have the same pyramid structures in different parts of the world? The exact same structures.
That align with the stars?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we have that when they could not travel around the world?
Yep.
To make that?
Yep. I was going to say, I feel like we should cover the pyramids next.
We should. You do it.
Okay. I knew you were like talking about it before, so I didn't want to take it from you. So if you're okay.
Take it.
Okay.
Do that next, because when I was like, I've never not believed in UFOs.
Yeah, me either.
But when I was really like thinking about things and I was watching some show, it was called some show. It's on Discovery and I freaking love it. Expedition Unknown.
Oh,
love
yeah.
that show. I love that show, guys. But like, I was thinking about it because they were like covering things like for Aztecs, and then they were covering it, and I was like, that's the fucking same shape. Like in my head, I was like, that's the same build. They're just used for different things.
Yep.
Holy shit! Like it just hit my. Even though I knew that, I was like, they wouldn't have traveled at that time and spread word.
Right.
And these things were literally impossible to humanly build.
I know.
And they, like you said, they align with stars. It's all about like it's fucking crazy.
It doesn't. None of it. It's all so
like wake up, people.
I know.
Wake up, people that say they don't believe in UFOs.
But is there even anybody now that thinks that? Because especially the government has outright said that they are. They have literally been like, yeah. There's
people that try to say that like, oh, but they're not talking about aliens. They're talking about just unexplained.
Just unidentified.
I'm like, fuck you. No, they're not. Like,
my thing is, here's the thing, is... okay, this is just where my brain goes. There's nothing that can cross into our U.S. territory in the air that is not going to be captured by our government. Do you remember, I think it was back in 2020, the fucking Chinese weather balloon that came over here and it was the biggest fucking deal in the world.
Huge deal.
You can't tell me that these unidentified objects are just like from another country or, you know, like potentially maybe, yes, it's our own. Our own would make more sense because that would be allowed in the air. But like, if it's not otherworldly, like, I don't know what else it could be. Like, it's not like another country is going to be coming over here. It's not like even just a regular old citizen can't just launch something in the air without it being, like, taken down.
Absolutely not.
So, like, my thing is, I believe it's something otherworldly. I do know that we have our own...
I think it's both.
Yeah, I think we have our own stuff.
Most of it is otherworldly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our own stuff, but I think we've learned a lot.
Yeah, because, like, if they have this technology that they can just appear... that doesn't show up on the radars, like, with our government.
No,
you know,
it's
not like it has to fly over here. It could just go...
But what if the government has formed some type of alliance with some of them?
I'm sure.
To keep the quote-unquote peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they do know fully. I do know they know there's aliens. And everyone's like, oh, they're just bringing this up because they want to distract from something bigger. And I was like, okay, maybe. But they're also bringing it up because they're like, okay, we'll use what we know to distract from something bigger.
Right.
Like, it's time. Or maybe there's a lot more activity now. Or maybe the otherworldly people have communicated, yo, we're going to start showing up.
Right.
So you're going to have to
You better say it.
You better say it because we're going to start coming. Like, what if that's the case?
Yeah.
And so the government's like, oh shit, I don't want to look
something.
incompetent. I don't want to look like we didn't know about this.
Right.
Because then we look incompetent. So I'm going to go ahead and start outing it because they said they're going to start showing up.
Yep.
Insane. It's so crazy. It makes me a little excited. I'm sorry.
I do too.
Alien invasion makes me a little excited.
Yeah. I'm kind of ready for like, cause like what we've had is like okay, but it's like it could be way better.
Yeah.
And I am more optimistic, so I tend to think that if a big change happened, it's going to be probably better.
Yeah. I don't want my butt hollowed out, like if that's what you're doing.
I don't want to be probed. I don't.
Well, like the cow that got his whole anal.
Yeah, I don't want that.
I don't want that. I don't want to be hollowed out. I don't need all that. But I'm all here for a change. And if there's something that, you know, and I don't believe that we're the only, in fact, we're not the most intelligent.
No.
So I'm just like, anyone that thinks what we have on our earth is like, you know, this, it only happens to us. Like, so stupid.
So crazy to me.
Have
you seen that video that like takes you through the universe that like it starts with like you on the planet and then it zooms out?
I can't. I watch it all, but I'm like I literally am like,
we're literally like a flick of dust.
Yeah.
In the universe.
Yeah, so like I totally will take a trip with you and let's visit the Skinwalker.
That'd be
At least
so
as
fun.
close as we can get to it.
Yeah.
As close as we can get.
I was gonna say, like, does the government, like, do they guard it now? Like, is it like Area 51?
They
like,
guard the ranch, but they don't guard around it. And the forests that are around it and things like that. If we went just close to it, got a hotel, we could just do, like, and we could document it all.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we could just play it safe and just walk there.
Yeah. Like, walk around, pet the wolf.
That would be...
That would be... Come here.
It's okay. I won't hurt you. Oh, Barry.
Oh, Barry. I just see.
Like you want a treat?
I call the wolf.
Yes, exactly.
That's all I have to do.
That's it.
Here, hi.
And then they know.
Come here.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok?
See?
He's the guy on TikTok that's like, white women ain't scared of shit.
He's gonna. If we document this, we'll be on his thing because he'll be like, "White women ain't scared of shit." We need to document us being like that. I mean, like,
This woman's over here talking in her baby voice to a black wolf.
or what she thinks is a skinwalker. No, but for real.
It's so true.
I think this is something we can put on our radar to do. We can document it and we can put it on YouTube.
Yes.
And it could be two white women
That's what it'll just be titled, Two White Women.
doing things they shouldn't. Oh, why don't we have this as a channel?
That needs to be.
Why is that not one of our channels? Two white women doing things we shouldn't. Like we could totally document some shit because we do things we shouldn't all the time.
Oh god, that's so good.
You guys, that might be a channel that might be coming out
That's so
because
good.
we need to visit Skinwalker Ranch, and that will be the first thing that two white women doing things we shouldn't. The first thing was being influenced.
Yeah, don't recommend that one. That was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's that's Skinwalker Ranch.
That's
so fascinating.
Good. That has actually, because like I've been on the fence of like actually watching the documentaries, and this has made me want to watch them. So I will be watching those now.
Yeah.
As I need to
Watch them all because
need to.
they have you hear the researchers like there's so much, and the fact that the Shermans didn't try to sell they didn't like you know how like when Ed and Lorraine they didn't sell any rights to stories. They didn't get money. They sold it for $200,000.
Right, they're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
They had to get the fuck out of there. They took a loss.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's
Okay.
it. I thought this was so vastly interesting. I've lived in Utah. It is a weird, bizarre, taking away from anything else. The land itself is like another...
I have a conspiracy.
It's like another planet. Yeah.
What if the Mormons are the aliens? I'm kidding. Just kidding, everybody. Yeah. Also, my friend's dad, he was obsessed with the Skinwalker Ranch documentary. I remember like talking to him and he would get so excited and hyped. He'd be like, nobody's talking about it! And it was like my favorite.
For two different companies that turned it into a research site and now it's with the government, y'all...
Yeah.
That's fucking factual. It's real. So yeah, I'm now obsessed with the Skinwalker Ranch. Really I have been like but now I'm like, I want to watch all of it again. Yes. I did watch The Secrets of the Skinwalker Ranch. And there's like a lot of boring parts, but I appreciate that because that's real research.
Right. It doesn't have to be like constant drama.
And you can see the frustration on some of these researchers. They're just like they're trying to get documentation. And they just can't. And you can see it palatable frustration.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But they do run across some mutilated cattle. They do.
It's sad.
I know it's sad, but it's like, there it is still.
And it's just precise and
precise.
Like, God, what the hell? That's so crazy. Wow. Well, that was a really good one. So I'll be covering the pyramids next.
Yay!
And we'll see. That'll be really fun. That'll be cool. But, all right.
Holidays are over, guys. Yes. We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are back in the normal schedule.
I've had some people message me. Being like, are you going to have a new...
Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody.
I said it's the holidays.
We were going to try, and then it was just... It's too busy. It was way too much going on, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're back.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.